Hello, I'm Moushu of Moushu's Pilates Studios, and I am a physiotherapist and a Pilates instructor. So this time we are doing an entire series of exercises for spinal surgery. Full stop. Most commonly, spinal surgeries are done after a slip disc or a prolapsed disc. This YouTube video is focusing on one such condition only for which a spinal surgery was done. The aim of this YouTube video is to get all of you who are watching this to understand what are the different components of movements and rehabilitation that you can incorporate in your Pilates workout. But of course, make sure you are doing it under supervision and in a safe place so that you don't further injure yourself. These exercises are done progressively to start from just understanding where you are in neutral, because we tend to lose our neutral when we are in a lot of pain, or we've lost our neutral because we've been working in an incorrect posture, both of which put together and overworked muscles can result in our slip disc. So the second component is to work on just retraining from neutral and getting the core to activate. The core muscles are really important in keeping the alignment of the spine, but especially the vertebral segments, one aligned to the other. And then we're going to move into spinal mobility, because there's definitely going to be an element of stiffness, and if you've had a fusion done, then we have to understand that that section of the spine isn't going to move. Once we have developed the core strength, the core activation, then we're going to progress to what we call the functional strength, or the strength of the upper extremities, lower extremities, added with the abdominal strength, spinal mobility, and finally for function. Finding our neutral. We start from the feet, make a V with our feet, and then distribute our weight evenly from the big toe to the pinky toe. Moving towards the knees, we soften the knees and align them with the second toe. Find those two little bony prominences on your pelvis. We call them headlights. Rock your headlights down to the floor and up to the ceiling. Find the neutral and keep that alignment of your pelvis. Lower back on a small, mild curve. Keep the ribs aligned to the hips. Don't allow for the chest wall to sink in or the chest bone to pop up. Keep the alignment of the ribs under the shoulders and over the hips. Open through the shoulders. Don't let them crouch forwards, and don't let the shoulder blades kiss all the way at the back. Lift and roll your shoulder at the back. Align from the front and back of the neck, growing nice and tall from the top of the head all the way down to your feet. In trying to find your pelvis in neutral, in all probability, you're going to feel stiff. So sitting on a ball and finding the neutral of the pelvis by rocking the ball front and back helps with the pelvis mobility as well as finding your neutral. And then take that to rocking the ball sideways and in a circular motion to improve pelvic mobility throughout. Keep the pelvis steady now, so you've found your neutral, and then see if you can maintain all of that neutral sitting on an unstable base and moving through the arms. We also need to get our shoulder mobility back. Once we found our neutral in standing and then on the ball and mobilized through the pelvis, We're now going to maintain that neutral, activate through the core, and work on the foot series on the reformer, changing the different positions of the feet so as to activate different muscle groups as we move. Generally, pressing through the heel on the foot bar is a good start to glute activation. Adding to the core activation and the foot series, we now move on to the bridge, which works on the lower spinal mobility. Again, if there is a fusion that has taken place with the surgery, then the mobility component will be lower and it will be more working through flat back bridge and gluteal activation. Activating the core and maintaining it can sometimes be quite challenging, and you might find that your knee or your leg is moving all over the place. So now you can keep that alignment, placing a small ball, holding it as you work into the bridge. Continue with maintaining your neutral and core activation in a more functional position on the chair. And depending on the placement of your feet, you're going to be firing from different muscle groups. Add to a single leg challenge. The Pilates tower is a great place to add to spinal mobility. So start working in a low range of a roll down using the roll down bar, segmentally working one vertebra at a time. Keep building up the range, moving all the way down, firing through those abdominal muscles as you come up. Using the push-through bar, sprung either with 1 or 2 blues, you can now work on scapular mobilization, keeping the knees bent or straightened depending on how tight you feel around the hamstrings. And then add an upper body roll down to it. So again, mobilizing different sections of the spine, and keep adding to the range of motion as you feel comfortable. And then we are adding a side bend and a rotation to complete all movements of spinal mobility required post-surgery. Gently pressing through the push-through bar in a prone position, making sure the belly is away from the mat, gliding through the shoulder blades and lifting the upper back to add components of spinal extension. Widening through the legs, which opens through the front of the hip, giving you a little bit more range in the spinal extension. We also need to now add a little more strength through the arms and the legs. So working on the rowing back series, facing the tower. Again, change the spring tension depending on what load you would like to take. These exercises are all progressive, so you can use the ones which you feel work for you or at which level you are. Taking the sitting position from cross-legged and facing the tower to facing away, and in a kneeling position and then working the arms makes it more challenging. Feet in straps on the tower helps to mobilize the hip, work through the hip muscles, and also add to the strengthening component of the leg muscles. Take the feet in strap series to also challenge your lower and upper abdominals, adding to the 100 series. And this really works on supporting the legs, taking some load off the back, therefore not stressing the part that has been operated. Post-spinal surgery and recovery from getting your core activated, working through the arm and leg muscles and spinal mobility. Now we have to add in components of working through standing positions and then aim to where we want to get back to. So I've added a few exercises from your lunges and squats, which are not only functional, but they also what we like to use in other multifaceted exercise programs. Firing through the entire body, working through all the slings in the front and the back. We hope you enjoyed this video. Wishing you a speedy recovery and all the best. We really hope that you enjoy this video. I hope it's useful. And we also have a blog section on our website. So definitely go on to moushuspilates.com and check out all the blogs for various conditions. And then again, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. If you think that this was helpful and you know anybody else, please do go ahead and share it too. Thank you.